Hello and welcome back to Not Just Another Fat Girl. This is Kristen, aka your resident fat girl, and I am trying a brand new video recording software. Fingers crossed and prayers going up that this works well because Photo Booth has completely pissed me off again. I did the updates on my computer, did everything that I was supposed to, and needless to say, it's just being all kinds of funky funk. So, yeah. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to what I actually am going to talk to you guys about today. Actually, specifically to the girls about today, although guys, you can watch too if you want to, is Aunt Flo. Yeah. Positives and negatives of that time of the month. Believe it or not, there are some positives there. Probably the most obvious positive, at least for most people, is you're not pregnant. Woohoo! You can do like a little celebratory dance, whatever you want to do, but that means that at least for one more month, you do not have a little baby growing in your belly. So, thumbs up for that one. Number two, you have Mother Nature's permission to consume whatever the heck you want. Although I tend to stick with my same daily eating habits while I'm on my period, the week prior, sweet cherry pie. I always have a major case of the munchies. I mean, I want to eat and eat everything that I normally don't, and that is how I always know that she's coming. There you go. Number three, if you're still in high school or middle school or whatever, you have a legit excuse to miss gym class. For those of us who are adults, you have a legit reason to kind of take it a little bit easier in your workouts. Now, I don't necessarily do that per se. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. I do that. I do less reps because I do a lot of lower body exercises, and when it's that time of the month, yeah, everything's happening in the lower body. So, you also have a scientific reason for your moodiness. Again, for me, leading up to that time of the month is when I tend to experience the hormonal stuff. So pretty much the about 5 days leading up to it, I experience everything that other women seem to have while on it. I don't necessarily get grouchy per se, but I do find that I am saddened by the honest things. One time I was driving in the car and for no reason, I heard a song and literally burst into that ugly cry. You know what I'm talking about here, okay? I did the Kim K face, everything blurred, I could barely breathe, and I ended up with a nose that didn't know, what it wanted to do, whether it wanted to be stuffy, runny, whatever. And what's really crazy about that is that it wasn't even a slow song, okay? It wasn't a slow country song or anything like that. It had nothing to do with love. So that's why I'm saying it was so random. And 3 days later, Aunt Flo arrived, and it all made sense because I don't cry easily. So, yeah. Another positive is that your period is actually a really, really good health meter. It is one of the best ways to gauge if there is something wrong with you. If you're too heavy, if it lasts too long, if it doesn't come, if it comes irregularly, if it's extra painful, etc. Every detail is a way of gauging your current health status, especially stress. Stress is one of the biggest components that affects Aunt Flo. So, yeah. The negatives, they always seem like they're a mile long, to be honest with you. Probably the worst of it for me are the cramps. I have an IUD in. I have the 10-year copper IUD and sweet cherry pie. Ever since I got the darn thing, my periods are longer, they're heavier, and the worst are the cramps that I get now. I get those hardcore cramps that wrap around to your lower back, and they literally make you want to curl into a ball while canoodling the heating pad and generously stuffing your face with whatever the heck will distract you from the pain and simply shut the world out. It's bad. Unfortunately, though, I live in the real world. I have 3 jobs and can't take time off every single time that Aunt Flo visits. So essentially, I have to rely on God and my doll to get me through. Now, the positives to the cramps, yeah, I'm going to swing it this way, is that at least they don't make you look like you're 6 months pregnant. They only make you want to hunch over like you're trying to hold something in that desperately wants to come out. The bloating is far, far worse in regards to appearance. I know women who get puffy everywhere. I mean, their hands, their face, their feet, especially their midsection, to the point where they pretty much border a lymphedema patient during that time of the month. Now, my bloating gets bad. Whoo, does it get bad? But it's not the worst that I've seen by far. My face gets a little puffier. You probably can't see it right now thanks to the beautiful makeup trick called contouring the crap out of your double chin. My fingers swell a little bit, but only in the morning times usually. But my stomach, sweet cherry pie. This month, you would legit think that I was 6 months pregnant, and sadly, nothing seems to be helping with the bloat. All of my usual go-tos have been epic fails, which is leaving me epically miserable. Legit, it's horrible. And in the end, I just kind of feel like a big fat beached whale covered in yuck. Any woman knows that at this time of the month, you don't feel sexy. No matter how confident you are, okay? No matter how body positive you are, there's no way to feel sexy during that time of the month. You feel heavy, you feel out of sorts, and honestly, you just feel off. I generally have no problem with my size, my shape, my appearance, whatever. But right now, during, this time of the month, I generally feel fat. I know that sounds strange to some of you because, let's face it, I am fat. But on most days, I don't actually feel fat. I feel pretty darn good usually. I'm not limited by my size and don't feel restricted in any way, shape, or form. But while Aunt Flo is visiting, I do feel limited. It's actually painful to do some of the normal things that I do while cramping so bad, and I cramp really bad to the point where honestly, it borders labor pain. That's how bad it gets. And outside of that, okay, we're gonna have a real moment here, okay? Whether you wear pads, tampons, sea sponges, a cup, whatever, you do not feel clean down south during that time of the month, okay? Summer's Eve wipes are my best friend every time I make a restroom run, but even still, I don't feel clean. I could shower 5 times a day and still would feel down there an hour later. If you want to know why I shave down south, Aunt Flo is reason number 1. Point blank period. The idea of blood and hair together just, I can't do it. I legit cannot do it. So, how do I survive Aunt Flo? With as much patience and kindness as I can muster for myself when I legit feel like a grizzly bear who's been prodded out of hibernation too soon and has no food to calm the rage. That might be a little excessive, but, it's the truth. In all sincerity, though, I do try to be more forgiving with myself than normal. If I overeat because my stomach is a bottomless pit, I don't beat myself up over it. I shrug my shoulders and promise to resume my healthier eating habits tomorrow. If My hormones make me feel like I'm on the verge of puberty all over again and have me spazzing out over the silliest things. I take a deep breath, attempt to contain myself, usually through distraction, push through, and later laugh at how crazy I felt. Because you legit feel crazy sometimes. You feel like crap. You think you look like crap no matter what this person or that person says, no matter how much time you spend on your hair, your makeup, your attire, and you generally make some crappy decisions during that time of the month, especially when it comes to eating. And those are all of the reasons and more why you need to be extra kind, extra patient, and extra forgiving with yourself. If you actually took the time to read what the female body endures leading up to and during ant flow, the scientific facts, the hormonal swings, the pure chaos within you, you would probably be able to look at yourself and say, hey, for what you got going on, you're handling it pretty darn well. Even if you just fell apart 10 minutes ago because of a random commercial while stuffing your face with M&Ms. Above all, though, just know that you're not alone, okay? It's a cross you must bear to be a woman, and while some women may look at it as a curse, and trust me, there are times when I truly feel like it is a curse, particularly when I am curled up in a ball trying not to cry because I'm cramping so horribly. But the bottom line is it's still a messy, but beautiful part of procreation, of just femininity as a whole. And it's something where at the end of every single visit from Aunt Flo, honestly, I kind of have a higher degree of respect for myself and for my body because I survived it and I got through it. And truly, when you do sit down and you read the scientific facts, when you read exactly what happens, what goes on leading up to and during your cycle, you gain a whole new level of self-respect. And honestly, it's one of the few things that I would truly encourage every single woman to do while on her journey to self-love. Or even if you've completed it, heck, go back and read. Really, go Google it. Take a look and read it, and honestly, you will come away feeling so much better about yourself, about your body, and about just Aunt Flo in general. Now, I mean, it resembles a war zone a little bit, down south during that time, but it still contributes to how you feel as a woman, as a person, and it contributes to what you have survived. It contributes to your strength. It proves your strength time and time again. So, be patient, be kind, be forgiving, be loving, and get through it however the heck you have to get through it, because we all have to. I know this is a little unorthodox of a topic to discuss, but since it is that time of the month for me, I figured I might as well. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you can relate, give me a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments below. And subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, even if it is that time of the month, stay fabulous.